Alright, good evening. My name is Dark Knight, and I'll be casting this matchup in Division D East between Phoenix Rising, Moonstone, and Rise and Grind. And it looks like they're moving forward to the draft already. If I can get my I think it's gonna be a odd view, but it should work. As I did show earlier on the screen for those of you that were watching, we did have Rise and Grind win the coin toss, and they opted to go first pick. And then we had, if I look go real briefly at the map banning, we did have BOE, Volskaya, Dragonshire, and Inferno being last being picked by Phoenix Rising. So let's look at the first two bans. We see Junkrat being banned out on the side of Rise and Grind, with BW being followed up. And Junkrat is a hero obviously seeing a lot more play, being a lot highly more contested. We do see this Dukov being banned out, another hero that, even though after the nerf, still rather strong. And there is the Johanna ban. To be expected. I think I looked at the statistics earlier, and I think Johanna has actually gone through, surprisingly, at the state where she's very strong. And I think her win rate's, I think, almost 100%. I think there was like one match out of all the times he actually went through that she lost, but very strong hero. And following suit to earlier last season, we had Zagara and Vala being overpowered, where it's just a mandatory ban. We do see Anduin coming up with the first pick from the side of Rise and Grind. Follow up with a Hogger and a Valkyrian. I do like Hogger. Hogger, very strong on Inferno Shrines. If you're able to spin to win on the point on the shrine itself, very challenging. Hogger, very strong at taking camps. So Hogger can get great value. We do see Rise and Grind pick up Vala and Muradin. And we have seen Muradin gain some more value in the last couple, last couple patches. Although there hasn't been any real direct buffs to Muradin, I think it's just more of just the value he brings as an engaged tank. We do see Vala. We do see, to counter the off lane, it Blaze. Blaze, as of recent, another hero who hasn't received too much as far as attention and buffs or in patch notes, but has just gained more value given the meta. So far, I do like Rise and Grind's comp. We do see a Noob, another very strong tank. Noob being one of those tanks just below Johanna, being able to provide a double stun. Cocoon bringing a lot of value if used in the right situation. You do see Phoenix Rising picking a variant, which I would assume will be a taunt variant. Although I've seen variant in Smash. We can see a tank still being picked, but more likely going to be a tank taunt variant, followed with Kalthas. And we do have Mephisto, and wrapped up with a Sonya. You can argue that before Hogger, Sonya was one of the best heroes as far as shrine clear. Any hero where you're able to clear the shrine and also damage the enemy at the same time brings a lot of value on Infernal Shrines. So Hogger can do that, Sonya can do that. So So far, very solid pickup. And ooh, a Genji. I will say that's a very interesting pick. You don't see Genji being picked up too much. And just from this initial idea, I mean, early game's gonna be a lot more challenging for Phoenix Rising. So it'll be interesting if they'll be able to contain that Hogger. So with that, we'll move over to game 1 on Infernal Shrines. Yeah, Storm, very good point. This is a very early game versus late game. And very early game in a very limited fashion, right? Because Varian, you can obviously not a real tank. As much as I love playing Varian, I know that he's very limited until 4. Yes. And so this is like a it seems like let Hogger do his thing on the shrine. I mean, Hogger does it all. That's the thing. Hogger you can solo every single camp pretty much at level 3-4. So about that time, that's what we expect them to be. The first shrine coming up, so Hogger can solo that by himself rather easily. It's a little bit more tricky in the beginning, but it's very possible. So it looks like Phoenix Rising is going to have to rely on, as you said, being able to, taunt, follow up, and blow up. And they have the tools, especially after 10. However, they're going to be very selective. Even though Murden can be susceptible, it would take a Malfurion silence maybe to prevent Avatar from coming out to be able to blow up a Murden. Anyways, I think we had a small delay. It looks like everything's good. So we do have Mises on the Varian, Stitch on the Hogger. Is it Lit Rex? I'm just gonna say Rex. Just so later on you can be like, well, you're butchering my name.
10 seconds.
We have HE like Summer on the Malfurion, Rex on the Kel'Thas, Kel'Thas, and is it T-Cat on the Genji on the side of Knives and Grind, Last Dispatch on that Sonya, Azrael, Murden, Live DG on the Anduin, Arius, Vala. We do see Brother Nature on the Mephisto. Right away we see teams getting up into the ritual of clearing lanes and rotating. As far as wave clear, I'd say it's rather equal early on. Well, actually, it probably favors Phoenix Rising a little bit more, with Kel'Thas being a little bit stronger. Mephisto picks up a little bit later. But Vala, if you look at the talents that are being picked, Vala is going W build. So we do see that Fire at Will being taken, chosen. And let me know if the volume is correct. I know I had an issue with the volume pretty loud. So if you're able to hear me or not, I'd appreciate it. We see RNG pick up their siege camp. We see Hogger doing Hogger things. Again, great value. All the while, arguably two very bad wave clears, or at least early. Duking it out, top lane. We do see Sonya go right away. It will be interesting if they do cap this early. We do see teams posturing up, and we do see that taunt. Of course. Taunt variant. I do think it was a few seasons ago I did see a Twin Blades main tank variant, but you imagine that's not gonna go too well. We did see the early cap on the Bruiser camp from RNG. So last dispatch is gonna have to stay here to get some value. I mean, against a Genji, that's gonna be quite a bit. You see Hogger trying to clear. Can do it quite well. We did see Rise and Grind pick up the bottom siege camp. And with the objective on the bottom third of the map, we see Rise and Grind posturing up for the objective. And right away, we do see Rise and Grind get a very big early start, and then we got Hogger. Hogger's is this almost got the spin. It's actually a lot more difficult than you think. Sonya with 50 health, almost 50 health, gets away. We do have that top camp. They should get some value, but it's rather early, so might not be able to push too much. We have Hogger at it again. This time looks like Hogger got it. We see the taunt coming out on the Sonya and does go down. Rise and Grind having to back up. With two to... You just need two more. Oh. You hate to see that. Very well played on the side of Phoenix Rising. I guess with sevens online, it was a little bit challenging, but... You were so close. It is a frozen Punisher. Usually considered the stronger of the Punishers. Even early on. We do have the team being stunned. Vala going down. And will go down to... Was that to the fire? Yeah, fire spread. And this just shows the strength. Yeah, this shows the strength. We do see Gigi. Can he charge? Muradin, unfortunately, gets taunted. Kind of slow on the taunt. Maybe wasn't up. But this highlights the strength of the Frozen Punisher. I mean, generally, first Punisher is the weakest. Yet they were able to pick up a fort because of that. Do you see some soaking being missed out on? Overall, as far as siege, still pretty good. And right away, we do see about a level lead. So having that Frozen Punisher push and gain control of a lane right away early is a very big benefit. And they're going to be a level head. Phoenix Rising is going to have a lot of opportunities now with 10s coming online for them. If you're Rise and Grind, you're going to have to... Oh, I heard the taunt. Yeah. The great thing about having a variant in the game is you can hear the taunt. And as I was talking about what Rise and Grind should be doing, I should mention what they should not be doing is being caught out. We do have 10s online with Warbringer, X-Strike, Tranquility, Bolt, and Phoenix. I'm actually surprised we didn't see Twilight Dream. That's... Especially with that Sonya, if she takes sleep, if Murden jumps in, they could get taunted in silence. So I'm actually surprised, but they're opting for the heal. Obviously, with very squishy teammates such as Genji and such, and it provides a lot of value. We did see Phoenix Rising secure the bottom siege. It's going to be cleaned up rather quickly. We do see a skirmish mid lane. Murden gets slept, taunted. X-Strike comes out. And Murden jumps in. Oh, that. Ooh. There's leap on that. Oh! I mean, actually, I was going to say, I didn't get a chance to read or look at the 10s for Rise and Grind. We do have Reign of Vengeance. Holy Salvation, interesting, coming out. Leap, Avatar, and Consume Souls. Very interesting. I would think Durance, especially level 20 Durance, provides, it's almost a win condition by itself, but opting for Consume Souls. Right away, we do see with that pick, Rise and Grind getting into position. Getting a hefty lead of 10 thus far. Let's see if they're able to hold. Mephisto getting charged and taunted. We do see Anduin pulling back. Mephisto really low with Sonya in the back line, but able to spin to survive and goes down to the X-Strike. And with that, we will be seeing Rise and Grind retreating, and we do see the Hogger spin. And if you're I'll tell you this, it's millimeters to make it perfect. But if you could get a few spins on it, it can be very good. I saw, I think someone from, was it Division E, I believe, that did some really good spins on Hogger, and obviously with that 13's online, they're going to be able to pick up the Arcane Punisher. We did see Sonya lurking around, but backing off. Hogger pushing top, getting some value. We do see the Arcane jump on Murden, pops Avatar right away. And if you're Rise and Grind, this is where you're just, you gotta back up and just skip it. And Inferno Shrines, Braxis Holda gets a lot of rap for being a very snowbally map, but I think Inferno Shrines, to some extent, is very similar in that once a team gets the first Punisher, especially if it's a frozen Punisher and they're able to secure a fort in the first, 5 minutes or so, it's such an advantage that makes it very difficult. However, Inferno Shrines is a map that's very forgiving. If you're able to sustain yourself and able to withhold and just, and be very mindful. Yeah, there you go, Murden checking. Oh, Sonya. And we do see Sonya walk through, and yes. I was going to say, Murden should be the one walking through that, not Sonya. Sonya paying with their life at that point. We do see... Malfurion. Again, showing the susceptibility of Malfurion. Yes, you're up almost 2 levels. But you're not a tank, Malfurion. We do see... Ooh. We saw some damage come out. Not enough with the 2.25 level difference. But again, if you're Rise and Grind, again, you want to set up a win condition. It doesn't matter what lane it is. You have to work towards a win condition. You see them bot, you go up top and try and take a wall, take something. You gotta take structures. And Phoenix Rising looking for the invade. They're able to cap right before that. That could have been very challenging, but they were able to get away. Yes, that was a very nice punish in that position again. It just... Again, Inferno Shrines is a map that can be very unforgiving early on, but it typically goes to 20. It's a map that's very hard to finish pre-20 just because of the nature of the map. And so even though Phoenix Rising is obviously feeling very confident about themselves, this is a map that, like Cursed Hollow as well, can flip. We see Hogger go ahead and start. I was going to Stitch. So, you know, I play Hogger a lot, so there's this little corner down here where if you put yourself here, you can go back and forth this way, and you don't need to put your trait down. You can go back and forth this way and do it rather easily. But with that, we do see 16's almost online, but they're gonna have to wait a little bit. And again, if you're Rise and Grind, you're gonna have to make a play here. We have pressure bottom, trying to get a pick with Phoenix Rising rather aggressively positioned. Murden jumps in, and Mephisto getting taunted, and it wasn't able to actually teleport back in time. I mean, that's a difference of 2 levels, yeah. Almost 2 levels at that point. We see the, oh, never mind. We see the Sonya Leap on the Genji being rather ambitious. If you're Rise and Grind, I mean, you need to clear this up. You know, I would say, yeah, it's very challenging. This bottom keep is likely 100% gone. We do see double camps being picked up, so that's gonna have to be cleaned up. A lot of pressure, top lane, mid lane. Obviously, now it's gonna be they're gonna hold it very smart. They're gonna wait for Hogger to clear bottom. There he goes. They're gonna 39 it, knowing that Rise and Grind can't really come in. I mean, they just have to cough on one of these. And even then, 38 to 11, it's not like it's even close. Oh! Hogger was delaying it and almost got engaged on. But it is a Mortar Punisher. We do have mid lane being pushed. We do have pressure top. And so we do see the Punisher, John Cena, moving towards. We do see the taunt coming out. Leap on Mephisto, but as he was in his teleportation. And Murden taking a lot of damage, gets taunted, and was able to leap. Sonya leaps in to try and potentially peel for Murden, but it wasn't needed. But still, good decision. That Murden going down was a big loss. And if you are Phoenix Rising, I think you back up. Try and get pressure mid, try and get pressure top. You're almost 20. So here I think you play for 20. This game, at this point, if you're Phoenix Rising, is yours to lose. And with the leap on the variant retreating, is not able to get away in time. And we do see Rise Run chasing. Murden trying to leap in and dismisses the stun on that Kalphas. Potentially would have secured a kill. And if you're Rise and Grind, you gotta get structures. No, and so this is very challenging. You want to get your camp. You have an advantage, even if it's 2018. You want to get structures. You're so far behind. You have no win condition right now. You have one keep down. Ideally, you would want to at least get this down. There's no way that Phoenix Rising even risks it, because they know that one of them dying can potentially snowball. Logic says that you get this fort for free, and so instead they opt to try and get a camp. And honestly, I think that's just, losing out on a lot of advantage you had there. And if I'm Phoenix Rising, I'm saying, hey, thanks. You had an advantage. we don't want to fight you. You didn't force us to do anything, so definitely if you are Rise and Grind, you want to get some sort of structure. But they opted to play safer. It's understandable. But as of right now, you still have no win condition. We do have potential for something to happen in here, but they're rather close, so about a quarter level away from 20s. But opting for the safer play. But now it's going to come down to situations of even if you win fights and even if you get a Punisher, unless it's a frozen Punisher, it still will be very difficult to end, and you're going to be very mindful of this pressure in the bottom lane. And so that's going to limit a lot of your ability to end potentially, depending on how late this match goes. We do see Phoenix Rising posturing to be a little bit more aggressive. Genji leaping into the Vala. We do have Sonya slightly out of place, leaps out. That's a significant cooldown, but obviously one that you're happy to burn. We did see, interestingly, the Bruiser being on top lane, the winning out, so they will get their first structure passively. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to save that in time. Yeah, that's going down. So it worked out, but again, if you think if Rise and Grind was able... Oh, it's going to barely survive. It's probably going to go down, but look at the fight on the mid objective. You see a taunt coming out. Root, Salvation, being able to protect the team. Phoenix Rising rather low. Hogger leaping back. Vala getting low, gets pulled back. Vala, oh yeah, we have 20s online for both teams. I didn't call it out because I was too busy criticizing, but we do have a 1-for-1 trade with Vala, or not Vala, we had Anduin being taunted. Oh, and he tried to get his Salvation out again and was not able to. And Vala being focused. Now we have a 3-for-1. So the chase still happening. Varian rather content with what he got. We have Kenji still harassing. I understand the want to kill Murden, but yeah, I was gonna say that's a little bit more ambitious as a Genji trying to kill a Murden. If he was like with with 2% health, then maybe, but at that point you just want to push lanes. We have bottom lane catapults already in line. Yeah. He didn't get his ult, so we did have ults. We did have Glory and Alliance, Living Weapon, Serenity, no control, which you saw at the end, Flamethrower. Then we have Farfight Cleaver, Light of Stormwind, Ignore Pain, Rewind, and Consumed by Hatred with John Cena on his way. We do have a jump on the Sonya, be able to back up Murden, getting taunted, and we do have with the healing reduction from Varian. The Protect comes out, Living Weapon hits. I think it's still procs, but Anduin not going to be able to live for much longer. Vala going down. We do see Mephisto using his ult, but with that, a lot of lane. Surprisingly, a lot of lane pressure from the side of Phoenix Rising. Again, we do see. Look at the stats. Very, very clean. Like I said, initially, if you look at the draft, you have Sonya, you have Murden, Vala, Mephisto being maybe a weakness early on, versus the Varian Genji. Well, I guess Hogger and Kalvas bringing way clear and Shrine clear. We look at the damage. Mephisto and Vala, it wasn't even close, right? We have that damage coming out. However, surprisingly, Malfarian able to keep up the team, even though Malfarian for the longest time now has not been a very strong healer, brings a lot of utility, able to almost double Anduin's damage. from an experience standpoint, we did see Hogger being able to get a lot of experience, and a lot of having to do just to manage most of the time rise and grind on their feet, on their heels, I should say. Very impressive showing on the side of Phoenix Rising. Like I said, looking at the draft, you would say, both teams are equal on some points, but I would have loved to see Durance from Mephisto. The root is such a significant, especially with a leap into root. You can have Emerd and stun, Vala stun. A lot of havoc can be done, especially level 20. Level 20 Durance with the silence is almost like an entomb. Like it's I didn't feel like much value was brought from. I always forget the other alt just because I never consume souls. I never even use it, so I forget that even exists. But anyways, very strong showing. So I'm going to be waiting. It looks like we're going to be going to Tomb of the Spider Queens. So we're going to be waiting for teams to getting ready. Meanwhile, we're going to take a short little break. All right. So it looks like both teams are ready. And yes, Storm, the Durance would have punished PRM clumping them in the game. I agree. I completely agree. I just think that when you look at tools, as far as what heroes have, there's certain abilities that are win conditions by themselves. I think a lot of people recognize, for example, Leo with Entomb, especially with the upgrade of Buried Alive. A Silence Entomb can completely swing a game for you. And it wasn't until a few seasons ago that I recognized Mephisto was the same way. Although a higher burden of execution, right? Mephisto's Durance with the upgraded Silence, it's very similar to an Entomb. And I think that, yeah, like you said, Phoenix Rising had to clump up. I thought that Durance, especially the upgraded Durance, would have been a huge help. They had a lot of tools to follow up and engage that or set up the Durance. But right away, we do see Rise and Grind ban out that Varian. Not wanting to see the Varian. Which is usually kind of, at least in my own experience, something that I would want to avoid to do. Varian is a tank that is very good at one thing. And there's tanks that can do a lot more than Varian. But it comes down to burden of execution. We do see Stukov being banned out by Phoenix Rising. And I didn't mention it, but it was Phoenix Rising that picked the map. Again, Rise and Grind opting for first pick. We do see the Anduin being banned down this time. Surprising. So we do still see Johanna and Rhaegar being available. Although Rhaegar not as strong as he was, still rather strong. If you look at the win rates of Rhaegar, still over, I believe, 60% when he's let through and picked. We do see Johanna being banned out. So, right wing, although has dropped up a little bit. There was a point where Brightwing was very strong, dropped up a little bit after Rhaegar became a little bit stronger. But Brightwing always has value as a global hero. Can work as a poor man's Stukov, right? With that point and click silence, there's a lot of things you can do with Brightwing that you can do with Stukov. And we do see Blaze, which I assume is off lane if it's being played by Stitch, and Lucio. And again, Lucio, very strong hero, a lot in this meta with a lot of stuns, with high five getting a lot more value. Plays again being more prioritized in the past few patches. Again, we do see Vala. And this time in Leoric, speaking of win conditions, I was gonna say, well, we didn't get the Durance in the Durance silence, but maybe we'll get a Tomb and Entomb in Silence Entomb, right? So, but I will say that Blaze is actually one of the heroes who's very good to kind of counteract that with Bunker providing that protection. We did see Murden being banned out, which did get some value. But it's just I felt that I guess maybe because of they were so far behind. Murden is a very just general tank. It's not like a Garrosh that he's good when you get a lead and kind of bad when you get behind. He's a tank he's kind of like in the middle when it comes to if you're down or not. He's not a feast or famine type of tank. With that, we do see Anu being banned out again. So with Phoenix Rising now up next to pick, I'd imagine they would pick up their tank, Stitches, and a Kelvas. I love Stitches. And this is obviously one of Stitch's stronger maps. There's a few maps where Stitches can be very oppressing, and this is one, along with Garrosh, right? Any displacement tank. You can get a lot of value here because you can predict rotations. Rather small 3-lane map. Smaller technically than some of the 2-lane maps. And we do see a Kel'Thuzad in a May. Interesting because Stitches is actually pretty good into a Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad, not very mobile. Sometimes he has to root himself to do his combo, or quote, pseudo-root himself to do his combo. And so that's an opportune time for Stitches to take advantage. Although Leoric is a very good tank into Stitches. We do see Phoenix Rising rounded it out by having a Grey Mane. So overall, I think very interesting combo. I do like the Kel'Thuzad. He can, if you're able to protect him and he gets stacked, he can be very dangerous, especially late game. But with that, it's going to be a very interesting match. We'll see if Rise and Grind is able to take it to Game 3. With that, I'll catch you in a moment.
Leonidas drops the stun and drops the full ult. Oh my goodness, look at the health bars. It's a quad kill.
Should find the kill. Lunara will clean up that fight. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It is going to be Soul Shield. You gotta be kidding me. And Raw to take the 3v1, gets one, looking for the second. Crispy is popping off.
Looks like that Blizzard may connect with 4 people.
Ball, Lady Ronin! Oh my goodness, what a chat!
That was really good.
Gonna pan out and exit, but this time I'm gonna do Rise and Grind first. I always do the blue team. We have Azrael on that Mei, Live Chi, and the Bright Wing Arius on the Vala, Brother Nature on the Kel'Thuzad, Last Dispatch on the Lyric, with Misos on that Stitches, T-Cat on Greymane, he Light Summer on the Lucio, LXT Rex on the KTZ. So again, we're gonna have to keep a close eye on these stacks. Master of Cold Dark. And oh, we do see the Mei going down rather early. I will say, surprising. Mei is usually very tanky, very able to get away from engages. Not a bad tank into Stitches. You get pulled, you can E away. You have an unstoppable. Similar to a Johanna. A little bit less tanky, of course. But as I said, we're gonna have to see how quickly can Kel'Thuzad stack. Oh, I like this positioning. Oh, and with that, Kel'Thuzad will go down, but their own KT will go down, and and early on, a very active first minute. Here I am trying to explain this game. And I find myself trying to catch up to the action. We do have Stitch is already. He did go with Patchwork Creation, so gain 3 armor for every unit inflicted. Also increased healing, which is helpful with the Lucio, since Lucio is a little more challenging to heal early on. We do see Mei come down to try and harass the Greymane bottom. The Greymane is going to be able to Dark Flight away with the heal from the Blaze, able to help out. And we have Brightwing getting hooked, but the Blizzard able to help heal. Greymane. Ooh, let's say Greymane playing with fire. Having to full back. With that, we do see some pressure top lane, and Blaze is acting as a double soaker right now. Kel'Thuzad. So Rise and Grind being very proactive with their camp and pushing it early. Typically, what you'll see is a team save their Bruiser to counteract a push from the opposing team's Spiders, but they opted to get it early. And we have Kel'Thuzad stacking again now at 10 stacks out of 30, and so this is a pretty much a race to get to your full stacks and unleash the Lich. Not the Lich King, obviously. That's Arthas. Yeah. And Leo just, you know, doing Leo things. A very good tank to not get ganked. But we do see Phoenix Rising already with 48 to need 2 more. And kill the side. Oh, also he got away. We did see Phoenix Rising picking up their own, but not quite able to get away in time. With, oh, I'm gonna say, great helping hand hook by Stitches, but not quite enough in time. We do see Phoenix Rising picking up their first. Greymane getting pressure. Leo dealing with that. And interesting enough, we do see Blaze going with new habits. Typically, you will see that Blaze go with the attack speed upgrade at 1, but maybe trying to save himself in Unstoppable in case he gets targeted by the Lich. Kelpus up. We do see the combo coming out. Kelpus at 12 stacks. Again, top is cleared, bottom is cleared, but mid is still there. It's so word of advice to teams out there: you gotta protect mid. Mid is just too valuable. As all of you who are subplot like myself, everybody protects top with their life, everybody protects bot with their life, and mid usually suffers. But if you think about it, mid is so important, right? For rotations. If you don't have mid, it's hard to turn in mid, top or bottom. So I would have liked to have seen a better defensive mid, but it's holding on with a sliver of life. We did see Rise and Grind get theirs, even with that turn-in, and even with getting damage to their structure. We do see them being slightly ahead on XP, about a quarter or less than that. They're about even. We do see the Siege right away, and Vala getting hooked. We have the combo from KTZ at 17 stacks. Right wing gonna heal up that Vala. And Stitches, I understand, Messos, I get it. If you were 13, that was a hook. As a Stitches, you feel very limited before 13. Once 13 comes online, we do see the Entomb on the kill facade with... Oh, I say it's not quite enough. Very good combo there. At this stage, I think it's fair enough. The cooldown's not that short, but still, we do have a rather low spider. But remember, these little guys. He died. The little guys she summons. The Spider Queens don't do that much damage. It's the little guys that she summons that do the siege. And though you do want to focus the Spider Queen. If there's 4 of those little guys on your building, you need to get rid of them right away. But second turn in, as usual, tends to be a very strong turn in on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Often you'll see many teams opt to be second, and we do see Rising Grind again capture their bruiser. Leo on the bottom. Oh, the siege camp was taken. With that, we do see Phoenix Rising taking on their... Oh. Lucio, high five. Oh, 10's online, of course. There's so much action going on, it's always hard to remember to cover the 10s. We do see Gorge go for the throat. Gorge on the Mei. She gets Gorge. Mei's not the ideal target. She's able to scoot out from there. We do have Gorge go for the throat. High five. Pyroblast. And Bunker. With that, we do see Rain of Vengeance. Blink Heal. Entomb. Avalanche. Ooh. Here combos. Avalanche and Shadow Fisher. mean, Leo doing a good job of putting pressure on the Stitches. We do see the engage and hook on both miss. But that, I mean, I love that Leo is putting pressure on that Stitches. He's the one to do that. And we do see Phoenix Rising be able to secure. I think this is their second, right? Yeah, this is their second. Yeah. I'll be honest. Sometimes it's so hard where you hook, blot. So often when I play Stitches, I'll do a blind hook. I'll tell my team, hey, I'm fishing. When I mean I'm fishing, it means I have no idea what I'm aiming at. I'll pull the tank and have a split decision. Oh. Apparently, Blaze went down there. Sorry about that. As I'm explaining my bad Stitches gameplay, you know, you have like such a short time to hook, and yeah, like Leo is not who you wanna. That's not who you want to. Obviously, he's gonna E out. He might go down, so yeah. I mean, that's not a bad trade though. When you think about, oh, he says hook on the maze. Miso's with the hooks right now. But they're taking damage, and Lucio's gonna be going. Oh! He took so much damage. Yeah, if you lose, you got it. Oh, the combo on the Stitches, but that's not ideal target. But Stitch is able to get an E. Gets actually hit his Blazes and Tomb. Body blocked him. How unfortunate. I was gonna say, wait. I was gonna say, I thought that Rising Grind had the Blaze. And I was gonna say that's a very good play to body block him, but actually his own teammate body blocked him, which means he should have got in it. So Stitches should have got in it, like, you know. Very good boss play, creating space. We do see Rise and Grind getting to 16s. Blaze trying to clean up or put some pressure bot. But with 16 almost online for Rise and Grind, this is like a, you know, this is a map like, oh, is Lucio gonna get comboed? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I was gonna say he maybe gets out, but that was, yeah. If Rise and Grind wins this, they're banning KTC, depending on the map. Like, I think Brother Nature has proven that he knows how to land his combo. We do see a quarter health boss. Oh, we did see the Gorge on the Leo again. And again, that's not... Ooh. Oh. Oh. I was going to say KTC was out of position a little bit, but... Okay, Entomb. Okay. I was going to say... Tomb of the Tiger Squatter Queen is one of those maps that can get very snowbally, and we're seeing that. It looks like they're committing to the core, and I believe, yes, they get it. They get it, especially with that snowball. And Rise and Grind able to secure game 2. GG. Very impressive. I think I just have flashbacks of, you know, Storm League. But typically KTC is like a feast or famine type of hero with such as, you know, Alarak and such. But again, kudos to Brother Nature showing that even if you look at damage, not even with a lot of damage near the KT and the KTZ, both near the bottom. But that doesn't matter, right? The damage doesn't matter. The effective damage mattered, and are able to set up the Vala. Vala, if your opponent can't move, Vala can just do her whole combo on them, and you know how Vala can do a lot of damage. Blaze and the offlane actually coming in second place, and not a lot of damage coming through. It was a 13-minute match, but we do see a 5 to 11. if you look at the healing, this time on the favor of Brightwing from Rise and Grind, doubling that of Lucio. So we see this pattern of doubling of the hero. And again, Tomb of the Spider Queen, another map that can be very snowbally, as we saw. Soaking, we see that, not understandable, but Soaking I think is kind of misleading on this map, because it's if you can push with your objective, you get more value, more siege. Obviously, I think it comes down to more what's your damage and what's your healing. But very interesting. So with that, oops, looks like the lobby is setting up. So we're going to take a quick little break while we wait for teams to get set up for game number 3. All right, with that quick break, I will give kudos to both teams. Very fast in their picks and their decision and their lobby making. They're straight to the point. I'm used to the, teams take about a 5 to 8 minute break between matches, but as you see, we're back in action. We're on Towers of Doom, and we'll be moving over to the draft screen, and this was picked up by RNG, meaning that we do have first pick on the side of Phoenix Rising. Again, first pick has just like the same case back in early of season 12, where if whoever picks first doesn't have to ban Vala or Zagara. So we're in that meta in a very similar situation. We do see Rhaegar being banned out this time, interestingly, because it wasn't banned out, right? Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was not banned out, to my knowledge. We do see Rhaegar banned out on the side of Phoenix Rising. We do see the variant banned out again. I mean, I'll applaud RNG for that, because I'm a very stubborn person, and I just never think variant's a ban-worthy tank. But if you think that it's so good that you just need to get rid of it, mix, you can make the case for it. So we do see both team targeting each other's tank from game 1, with Murden being banned out on the side of Phoenix Rising, which makes sense. Ban out a comfortable tank for either team, force them to get on a tank they don't want to play. I mean, obviously we do see the obligatory Johanna ban. So with that, we still have Stukov, we have Dehaka, other heroes we haven't seen yet and still have a lot of priority. And so I will say about this meta, that besides Johanna, there's a lot of very good heroes to pick from. So Johanna needs to be nerfed a little bit, and then besides that, a lot of choice. We're seeing Phoenix Rising picking up Anduin. I believe that will be the first Anduin for tonight. We do have Stukov still available. Brightwing has been banned and Proud, I believe, both previous matches. We do see the Brightwing and the Mei coming out. Mei, a very good hero for stalling on this map, able to disrupt rotations. We did see Avalanche last time, which you've seen fallen out of favor. You see with Ice Wall being more picked because the ability to set up combos. Though it is a skill shot, can be rather challenging. So is Avalanche, but... And we do see a Sonya in Zagara. So the former banned champion, Zagara, making an appearance in a more nerfed form, but still can be strong. This is a map where if you're able to apply pressure to the opposing team, it can make it very challenging. We do see, again, a new Barak. So we're seeing a full tank choke on the side of Rise and Grind. We do see the Lyric banned out. I think Lyric was very strong this last match. But Mephisto's still available. Mephisto has Durans. Mephisto has a 20 upgrade silence, just like Lyric. Just saying. But Farala being picked up by Aris at this point. Again. And Diva. Interesting. Devo, I think about two seasons. I think it was like season 10, 11. That's when Devo was proud a little more. Since then, she's been nerfed a bit. And has some good utility in some maps. Infernal Shrines because of her bomb. And we see the Genji and the Blaze again. And this time I assume Blaze is a main tank. Although I've seen Sonya as a main tank, I don't foresee that happening here. We'll see what comes out with the last pick from Rise and Grind. Gul'dan.
I will not be denied.
I will say, I love Gul'dan. He's a very fun character. I'm a Warlock main in WoW. I'm very concerned about standing still and having to cast against a Blaze, Sonya, and Genji. And even Anduin with his ult. Potentially Zagara. So, Gul'dan, you get a lot of value in some maps, but I feel that I saw that pick and I got stressed out. But anyways, with that, we do have Towers of Doom. And just given from the first two matches, I think both teams have done well. And I can't, it's hard to predict. But we've seen the Genji was very effective on a map that does require more wave clear. If Genji is able to just free cast, I imagine he's going to go X Strike again. We do have Brightwing. If Brightwing can deny that Genji, which will be challenging because you're going to have to deny either the Sonya, if Sonya goes Leap, which they did in game 1, I believe they did. You're going to have to deny Genji or Blaze, depending on what ult they go. It can be rather challenging, right? But with that, we'll introduce each team. Again, we have T-Cat on the Genji, Mezzos on the Blaze, Tank this time, LX Rex, LXT Rex on the Zagara, Stitch on the Sonya, HT like Summer on the Anduin, Brother Nature on the Goldan, Arius on the Vala for the 3rd time now, Last Dispatch on the Diva, Life DG on the Brightwing,
What are you waiting for?
and AFK May Ezreal on the May. Please report May for AFK GG. We have our customary mid lane Swarmish. Though, if you are Phoenix Rising, you want to respect Vala and Gul'dan. So I will say, Vala and Gul'dan behind a Diva and May pre-10 is very challenging for a Genji and a Zagara. And ooh, Genji taking a lot of damage. Speaking of damage coming out, pre-10, this is a match that I believe highly favors Rise and Grind. So if you're Rise and Grind, I would have to urge you to get structures. Get that lead as much as possible. Even though Towers of Doom is a map that, even if you're down, as long as you have these tower points, right, leading to your core on either side, that's all that matters. You can only have one. And that's all that matters. Oh, did I have... I'm selected Anduin. That's not good. And my everyone key is not working, of course. Try and see if I can fix it. I don't want that, I don't want that. There you go. There you go. It took a couple button pressing, but it worked out. We do see right away, look at that value. A whole wall down, 2 minutes in. It was with the camp, but both teams got their... Ooh, Brother Nature getting low is gonna have to... Yeah. Can he get... Yeah. I mean, I guess you can argue it's not a horrible trade. Death timer's kind of low still. But even with that wall down, you don't see any... Yeah, you don't see any damage anywhere else. A little bit on top for... I guess here too. They're like about a quarter of a level ahead, even with that damage they had. So, like I said, I was rather nervous for Rise and Grind. We do see the Diva in baby Diva form without her mech. Probably coming up to help. And that, ooh, Genji's able to get it. And with Phoenix Rising already about quarter level ahead. They're going to be about almost half a level ahead on lead. Level 7. We do see Diva get back on her Diva mech, having to double soak against a Sonya, which is not very easy. But then Diva should be able to do okay. One thing though is that, as you said, Storm. Yeah, Vala has to be checked, because if she's able to just do what she wants, they're gonna focus Gul'dan because he has to so brute himself with some of his abilities. He's an easy target. But if you ignore the Vala, you know, we know the Vala is like an Orphea, right? If you ignore the Orphea, if you ignore the Vala, we do see May get in a position to try to... She will go on in, but not able to prevent the camp. We do see Zagara with the creep all over the place, providing vision. And again, this is a map, like any map, where vision very strong. if you're Gul'dan, you want to continually be clearing that creep. You see the engage on the Genji diving in, I believe. Gul'dan sucking, but yeah. D.Va coming down. We do see Sonya getting some soak. There's still about a half a level ahead. If you are Rise and Grind, you got to get something out of this before Sonya gets here. And it looks like they won't be able to. They get some pressure on the Anduin. But you see Gul'dan going down again. And so Brightwing's having the Xian to provide sustain for that Gul'dan. Zagara being a pest. Though her Qs, her Banelines are not as strong. And this is something if you are if you're Phoenix Rising, a Blaze and the Genji can stall, and Zagara can stall for quite a bit. We do see the Genji trying to go in, he is protect, gets pulled out. We do see Sonya still in the offlane getting soaked. They're about to get tens. Yeah, you're gonna have to back off if you're Rise and Grind. So very well played on the part with 10s online. We do have Bunker, S-Strike, Light Bomb on the Genji with... I was gonna say, as I'm calling out the ults, they're getting used up. We do see the X-Strike Light Bomb combo with the leap. Divine Maul from the Zagara. And that's a combo that can be very strong, but you don't see quite often just because it's a very niche combo. The Genji EN to the Light Bomb X-Strike combo with the leap follow-up can be very scary, as we saw, obviously, with the 10's advantage. With that, they're able to secure the tribute. We have an 11-19 lead with Genji pressuring D.Va top. We did see D.Va take the full metal, gains an increased health, and its fusion cannons heal for 60%. So able to sustain itself versus the D.Va a little bit, but still. We did see the Sonya going the toughest nails, Shadow Ground, Poison Spear, so able to put out some damage. Rotating mid, we have the Genji mid, or top mid, trying to slow down a D.Va, but D.Va's hard to kind of stop rotation. But having to use the bomb, that's significant. I think if you're Phoenix Rising, that's what you like to see. A bomb being used out. We do see Genji rotating down. We have D.Va down here. This is a good fight. This is a good fight for Rise and Grind. Pre-13, but you gotta get something out of this. Genji leaped in, gets a light bomb late. The fear comes out. We did have 10s come out on the left side. Devouring Maul missed. We do see the snowball on the Zagara. It gets caught out of position, gets killed, and still pre-13, but with a man down, they're gonna have to back off, and we're gonna see D.Va able to secure mid. We do see Genji trying to come in and put pressure. X-Strike out. But with that, we do see Rise and Grind able to stabilize and catch up back in tower shots. We got Blink Heal, Rain of Vengeance, Avalanche, Bunny Hop, and Horrify. And we do see this continual sort of pseudo 2-3 putting pressure on that D.Va, and Genji playing the role of that roamer, with Mei trying to help with the soak. It's a very good job on the part of Phoenix Rising trying to put pressure, and we do see them recognize that D.Va's top. They're gonna be late, trying to see if they can get a pick pot. Sonya's showing bot, but opts to back off, getting back to the soak. We do have 14-12, just a little bit off from 13. Light Bomb comes out. We do see the leap in. Let's strike. Well executed with Devour Maul missing. So I will say that's something you have to be careful about, unless you're trying to isolate the... Oh, we do see the Anduin getting snowballed into the backline, but and will be going down. Very good play by the Mei. I was about to say, if you are Zagara, you gotta be careful about devouring Maul, the whoever's getting comboed. So they could have devouring Mauled that Gul'dan and saved him. Again, we do see Phoenix Rising about a level ahead, but again, if you rise and grind, you gotta put pressure. You don't want to be in the situation where you're just falling behind, as you were, I believe, in game 1. You're able to invade siege camp and get their own, and now they have a lot of pressure. Yeah, you want to pressure this. Do not let them bring. We do light bomb, X strike into the Bright Wing, and leap. We do see the fear come out, but it seems like with Phoenix Rising recognizing that D.Va was top at that point. And again, this is a situation, if you are Rise and Grind, you gotta recognize they're about to be 16, I think, at that point. We gotta back off. We do see Genji diving the tower. Probably be able to get away. Yeah, they will. Vala, oh, Vala. Okay. Blaze trying to do siege. We do see body hop from the D.Va. Secures the kill. We do see the bomb coming out. I do believe that was an unnecessary death from Blaze. I think you stayed a little bit too long there. And however, I think because of the advantage from Phoenix Rising, it's going to be a trade top. I say you trade top and you push bottom.
I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battlegrounds.
Yeah, well, never mind. I say that, but obviously you have a Genji and Sonya who's just going to be pesky. Oh, wait, we see the Anduin going down. Will D.Va be able to... Oh, X-Strike and the leap come out, but... oh, they're able to silence the Genji. He's able to get out. No, he's not. Will Blaze be able to get this? Sonya's trying to peel. Yes, he will. He will. But will Sonya pay for it? No. Vala's going to pay for it. Will Sonya get away? And it appears that not, but we have Zagara pretty pushing. Oh, they're opting to get the... I'm not sure quite about this, but they made the call to take the boss, take it off from the table, and they're going to put themselves slightly ahead. Zagara, I believe, will be able to secure this. So... yeah, Zagara recognizing that they're rotating down, backs off. Mei trying to see if they can catch Zagara, but it will be going down. You have 11 seconds until that Sonya shows up. So again, if you're Rise and Grind, I would invade this. You gotta recognize this Towers is a map where you have to take advantage of that death timer. D.Va was mid. They could have easily tried to invade on even talents, but they opted for the safe play. But they're able to secure the bottom, so it does work out, but it will mean that they miss an opportunity to further stagger. As you know, Towers is a map. Once you stagger and you keep staggering, it becomes very challenging, right? It gets very challenging. We do see only a soul tribute bottom. Both teams splashing around. Life DG on the Bright Wing, checking the bush. D.Va over halfway with the bomb. We do the Genji with the light bomb. Beautiful! Wow, that was a very beautiful light bomb. Very good. It was a 4-man light bomb stun. Genji does pay his life. Gul'dan going down. And Sonya also going down. Blaze caught in the back is going down as well. But I will say, it was a very good light bomb by Genji, but it was just so far away from the team that they couldn't follow up. And that's sometimes the problem with that Genji light bomb combo. If your team cannot follow... Oh, and Zagara's going to go down. No, that's not good. And they were able to secure the Gul'dan kill. Well, like I said, that's a combo where you have to be in position, right? It was a very good light bomb, and it worked out. 4-man light bomb. It just... Genji was so far ahead. They were able to secure the Gul'dan kill and not get much else. And Rise and Grind able to secure... was it 2? 3 for 1. Right away goes to mid. And Gul'dan top. I mean, Gul'dan's gonna be melting these right. Like it's gonna be melted. And Rise and Grind level 20. They go with Fairy Protector, Farfight Quiver, Cascade, Stop and Pop, and Demonic Circle. So you're try and take bottom before Gul'dan. I think they'll get they're oh Genji Gul'dan Demonic Circled out. Oh, I was gonna say that Gul'dan was dead. I did not see him put his Demonic Circle, but that Gul'dan was dead. Oh wow. Very good. If you're Rise and Grind, you do not have to force this. You do not have to force this. It's 20-8. You do not have to force this, right? Light bomb combo gets a 2-cent on. Oh, the fear! We did see again a very good engage, but the fear getting such good value. Zagara trying to get in. The bomb will get out and actually will get Genji. Blaze goes down. Zagara goes down. And I believe they capped this, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I think that'll be 7 shots. You just cap 1 and cap top, and that's it. It's GG, yeah. Yeah. You just need Brightwing to cap this. Anduin trying to do his best. Just you cap top, and that's it. Actually, I was miscounting, obviously. Streamer math. 20-2, but okay, so you go to boss. Okay, either one would have been fine. I think that's just like at what point. And it looks like game number 3 will be going over to the side of Rise and Grind. Anduin trying to do his best to come in, light bomb, soul bump. Very brave, but again. GG. That was a very fun game. Kudos to both teams. We do see Bala again with the top damage as we saw, I think, the last 3 matches. Zagara actually also getting some good value. Genji, again, very good engage with the light bomb combo. But ultimately, that Vala was just unaccounted for. Like I said, I felt like the Gul'dan was the obvious, easy target. But a Vala that gets just free casting is just... even though after her nerf, it's still a Vala, right? A free casting Vala does a lot of damage. And I felt like these last 2 matches, Rise and Grind was able to get a lot of value from Vala. And with that engage, I think Blaze... Sonya, I like the Sonya. Do like the Blaze. I just felt like Genji got so far out ahead of the rest of the team, they couldn't do much. I'm thinking Diablo. If this is a Diablo... Light Bomb in, you have Hellgate in with a APOC. That's a lot of stuns. With a Sonya, I think Blaze can do a lot of good follow-up and does actually a lot of good damage. I just felt it was just out of his range a couple times. And with a Zagara who's slowly sending Banyulines in, I felt if this was like a Li Ming, I just think that this was a very good combo. It just felt like if this was a Li Ming obviously would have been perfect for this. Obviously, we don't know how the rest of the soaking and sort of would have gone. We've looked at the healing. Again, we see the healer with almost a doubling of the other healer wins. XP rather close. So with that, let's see if I can get an interview. I need to find channels and such. So that was a very exciting matchup. We do have it. Game 3 going again to the side of Rise and Grind. Okay. Inviting somebody. Let's see if wait, do I do it in the right channel? Oh yes, I did put it in the right channel. See if I can look at the standings. Do not believe that these are the most recent. Obviously, after tonight, it's going to change. And we did have. That's right now. Obviously, the points don't matter because teams are like either playing their matches or, you know, they're playing their flexes. So the points are not always as accurate. We did have Phoenix Rising Moonstone on 4th currently with 10 points. But again, I can't see the number of games they've played. Oh, they're logging into Discord. So be in a second. We have Brother Nature. So they will be stepping in for a quick interview. But overall, very exciting match. Very good turnaround. Reverse sweep on the side of Rise and Grind. If I could take a look at, let's see. Look at the map select screen. We did see that for the most part, the team that picked the map lost, except game number 3. As we've seen this season, there's been a big priority on getting first pick just because the opposing team has to ban out Johanna. So you get at least one freebie ban because no team wants to let the Johanna through. So we're still waiting for a member from Rise and Grind to join us. But overall, looking at this particular match, I think, as I said, I think Rise and Grind did a very good job of taking advantage a couple times of the picks it got. The engage by Genji was amazing. Light Bomb engage was very good. I just felt that the Zagara was not able to follow up. There was a 4-man stun, there was a 3-man stun, there was another 4-man stun, and so very good engage. And Blaze was able to follow up a couple times and secure a kill, specifically on the Gul'dan. But with that, let me double check. I'm sorry. We're joined. Is it by Aris? Okay.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, Brother Nature is having some technical issues, so I stopped.
No problem. That's fine enough. Well, he can join us once he can. But first foremost, congratulations on your reverse sweep in this matchup. So how are you feeling? Obviously, after this very challenging series, it seemed at times.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for casting. It was definitely a good win for us. They played a great game in game one, so it was like tough to adjust to their game plan. They were trying to pick someone off, kill someone. So it was definitely a challenging game one, and from there they just played a great game 2 and 3. So definitely proud of our win today.
Yeah, I did note that in game one, which was on Infernal Shrines, they picked a Genji and then a Kel'Thas, which I was saying, during the cast, that I felt that they had to win those team fights, right, and secure the objective. Obviously, with Hogger, is very good at that, and so, but I did feel that your team had a very strong, especially Sonya. Sonya's also very good at trying to clear, but it seemed like they were able to execute their plan with a Varian, right, to be able to get a taunt and get the follow-up to blow up a particular target, which in turn made it very difficult. They also, I think, they got very fortunate to get a Frozen Punisher in the very first objective, which is very strong early on, right? They were able to secure, even with not amazing siege, a fort rather easily because of it's a Frozen Punisher. So it's like I was saying, it's a map that can get very snowbally. So how were we able to rebound in game two, and then after what seemed a very, very strong showing from Phoenix Rising Moonstone?
Yeah, so I think part of it was adjusting to the draft. We had like a dead ban the first one. I didn't realize that Junkrat was one of the players that wasn't actually on the roster tonight. So we actually ended up banning the Varian, I think. So we were trying to. It seemed like they were playing off their tank a lot, so we were trying to take that away from them, and take away the initiation that they had in the first game. So again, drafting was part of it, and then also just being more careful around the map. I think a lot of the times they were hiding in bushes a lot. Yeah, I mean, in the first game, a lot of it too was like they would get their picks right before an objective, so we would just like auto lose those. So just definitely being a little bit more careful, being aware of like where the Stitches was positioning and calling out when like his hook was up. Just the little things,
Yeah, and so I was excited to see a Stitches from their part in game two. A big fan of Stitches, and that's one of his stronger maps on Tomb of the Spider Queen. But however, you were able. There was a few picks that occurred, but especially I think it was like right away at the very beginning. I think your Mei went down rather early, so I was like, "Whoa, this is Mei is a very hard hero to kill," but it went down. But you were able to kind of stabilize and get back into things. I think you were able to get, I think, 2 turn-ins. Oh, no, they got the first turn-in, you got the second turn-in, and I believe the third turn-in. And from there, again, Tomb of the Spider Queen can get kind of snowbally. So what do you think was a critical moment in Tomb that led you to be able to secure the win in game two?
I don't know if there was. I can't actually think of one specific moment. It didn't feel like there was one definitive team fight that like sealed it or clenched it, if you know what I mean. I think it was the small adjustments that we made, trying to play the macro better. So we took the camp really early, I think level 4, and tried to play that game after Mei went down. So I think it was just trying to make like a lot of small micro adjustments to stabilize, and then from there play our team fight, which I think in our opinion we had the better team fight. So really just trying to play until we could capitalize it. So trying to get Kel'Thuzad out his stacks, trying to get my stacks because I was auto attack build that game. So again, kind of playing more of our game rather than trying to like fight them over the objective or something like that.
Yeah, I will say that you did a very good job of being able to secure a spider push and a boss. And obviously, I think you were able to take advantage. I think you got a pick, and then after that, that's also you rode right. You're able to kind of get into their core and secure that win. So
Yeah, I
now,
mean that team fight top definitely sealed it. I don't
yeah,
know if that was. I think if they had lost that fight regardless, we would have just pushed in anyway because we had the
yeah,
spiders coming. So it
yeah.
wasn't like yeah.
And so moving on to game three, obviously to winner takes all. Going to towers, and I believe this was chosen by you. And again, towers is a map that is very different than most of the other maps in the pool, where it's a 3-lane map, but it's not a you don't have the traditional keeps and forts, and one that can swing quite a bit depending on picks and so early on I think they were able to get some of the momentum, but you were able to stabilize. And so again, I noticed you banned the variant, and I think this time you banned out all the tanks, I believe this time, right?
Yes, because they had first pick, so we banned the Joe, the
The
Varian,
variant and then
and
Anub.
yeah.
Anub, and I think that was very interesting that you were able to kind of just say, hey, these are the tanks, these are the tools we don't want to see. But how did you feel? I mean, we saw Genji again, and I think they had a very scary combos, and they were able to. It was rather effective early. So, if you can walk me through, what were you? How did you feel about that potential of that team fight? Because the light bomb with the Genji showed to be very strong. I guess after the very first fight after 10. And so, what were your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so they're definitely like a combo oriented team. You could tell that from like the first game they were really good on CC trains. Second game too, like fighting over the objective, really layering the CCs, and then just having Hogger be a menace. So it really was just kind of playing it slower, playing it more to our strengths until we get to like the point that we feel comfortable fighting. And then really just taking the objectives at that point. So in that regard, I think it felt good. I mean, we had the Brightwing to deal with a Genji, and we actually took the Gul'dan to deal with a Genji too. The Horrify at the very end there came in so clutch. I mean, there was a couple really good Horrifies, but that last one, I think both I and the Mei were getting CC trained. That was super good.
Yes.
So you can see like that was our game plan, was just to split up, survive their combo, and then come back with like a huge Horrify. And I think actually the fight before the last one was, I think, huge too, because I think the Horrify let us survive the light bomb again, and I think we had a 3-man snowball after that. And that was just like chef's kiss.
Yeah, it seemed like a very millisecond type of matchup where the Genji was able to get quite a few very good light bombs, and a couple times was able to pick off the Gul'dan. That's what I mentioned. Like Gul'dan's going to be the number one target because he's so immobile. But there was a few times, as you mentioned, where the Gul'dan was able to get picked off. But lost in all this is the Vala was just standing there doing DPS for everybody. So that's something that I mentioned. I was like, I think there was a big focus on Gul'dan and Genji, obviously, but I think the Vala got so much value because the mobility and able to get out of the way and not get focused, and they had some good combos, but I think with their Zagara, the Zagara was not able to step in. The Blaze wasn't always able to step in, so it was sometimes just like Genji by himself. And so,
Yeah.
but they were able to get. So it was kind of like Gul'dan's gonna die, but we're gonna trade for 3, right? And so, good job. I say kudos on your team, be able to take advantage of that and be able to get the pressure. Obviously, you secured a lot of the more tower points versus the Phoenix Rising, and you're able to secure a Game 3 match. But with that, I know you want to go back and celebrate with your team. I don't want to keep you up too long. I'll leave you with any final thoughts or any shout-outs that you would like to say.
Yeah, so definitely good game to Phoenix Rising Moonstone. It was a tough match. Thanks to you for casting tonight. I know this is like a last minute cast, so we appreciate it. And then I guess for our shout out, I'll shout out actually Avril Lavigne, new album out today. One of the OG queens. So it was actually a pretty good album too. So
I do appreciate that. That takes me back to like junior high.
yeah.
So that actually made me laugh. That's a highlight of my day for today, actually. And yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a very last second, but I was happy to be able to enjoy a very good series, very back and forth. But again, congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Great, and I'll be seeing you around hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks.
No problem. And so with that, we did have again a Rise and Grind being able to come back and take a 2-1 victory from Phoenix Rising Moonstone. Again, Phoenix Rising being able to show a very strong showing in game 1, but Rise and Grind being able to adjust and come back and do the quote reverse sweep. And with that very fun series, I was very happy to be able to cast this for myself. It's one of those where I got home. A lot of my times, my schedule is what I get home. I have like about 20 minutes or so to decide if I can cast or not. But I'm glad I'm able to provide a cast to these teams, and lots of it's very enjoyable for myself, and it was very entertaining. But with that, again, thank you for those of you who have joined us today and are joining us and watching the VOD later. Thank you very much for joining us. And I'll be seeing you around in the Nexus. Have a good one.